Joe Weider was a tough guy, huh?
He shut me down, and I took that.
The mentality of not giving up under the most extreme conditions, everybody can relate to.
So a lot of things happened that just came into play that I had nothing to do with. I couldn't change it.
You went through a lot of obstacles in your life.
Keep moving, keep moving.
You know, people that read your book and saw your documentary, Driven, which is amazing.
Thank you.
They know about, you know, you went through a lot of, I would say, obstacles in your life, especially coming up, you know what I mean, as a child, as a teenager.
Right.
It was a lot, you know. I suggest people to watch the documentary. And you've been through a lot of different painful experiences. What would you say was the biggest obstacle you had to overcome in life?
Whew, it's a lot. You know, trying to make a living, you're poor. There's like all odds against you. It's what I kind of wrote in the book. You know, you're African American, you're poor, you're deep South. You know, you barely went to school. You know, you didn't have mom or dad. You didn't have a team around you support. My first training in St. Louis became like a father figure to me. I was 16 years old. This kid, you know, I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't know how to talk to people. I mean, so yeah, it was really, 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 really tough. But do you think everyone has that same life? You don't know until you grow up and go, wow, I did have it bad. And even in California too, I was sleeping behind the church and didn't have any friends, and there was no ticket to go home. You know, my friend went to California with me. He jumped on the bus and went back, and I said, I'm not going back. This is it. It was from this movie. I said, I'm going to live and die in LA. It's one of the two. But, I was this close. You read the book. I was just that close, not surviving. So, I thank God for that, because a lot of things happened that just came into play that I had nothing to do with. I couldn't change it. But it was very helpful at the right time, at the right moments, like the 11th hour. You know what I mean? And then get into the bodybuilding world. Being rejected by the leaders. Imagine when you're 21 years old, you just come to California, you want to be a bodybuilder, and the door shuts in your face. What did I do? I'm just a kid. I just want to win a show. So that took me out. You know, after one Mr. America, I became homeless again. That took me it took me down. Because I figured if I win, then I get a contract, and then I'll be okay. No. I was sleeping on my friend's sofa at his mom's house. Yeah. So that's, but then again, you gotta pick yourself up, keep moving.
How did you go to the gym knowing that you're homeless and still be able to work out with a goal in mind? How do you even do that? I mean, you had so many issues to worry about, right, in your mind.
Yes. Working out was an escape. I used that through my whole career. There's a lot of frustration, I think, anger, and I took it out on the weights. And then when everyone said, you're never going to be anything or anybody, I took that energy and I said, I'll show you. So, you just got to be tough. I'm soft-spoken, but deep down, I'm tough. Right. I want to live. I want to survive. I want to win. You go into California and you see it on TV. It's like, wow, I'm in California. I made it to LA, and I'm going to get this contract. I'm going to be in the magazines. And you get nothing. So my question is, what did I do? But that's life. It's never easy. Right. Everyone has issues. Everybody has a story to tell.
Joe Weider was a tough guy, huh?
He was a tough guy. You read the part when I first met Joe. He looks me up and down and goes, Arnold sent you here. So, yeah. So that was the beginning of the end for me. The door was closed, but I refused to go away. I refused to quit. Because a lot of time you didn't place in the show, you place low, and it's like the feeling you got that just want me to go away. And I said, no, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to be here for a long time. But when I retired after 18 years, I came back.
Right,
When
right.
I retired from bodybuilding, I was like just done. I was frustrated with it. I was angry about it. I didn't get the just due, and you know how you get. And I
Sure.
just started training for 18 years. But what happens? I never missed a training session in 18 years. So when I made my comeback, a lot of people said, "Oh man, your legs and arms improved even more." So I did some shows in Europe. I did a tour. So yeah. So if you take time off, and a lot of guys try to make that comeback, but they take 2 or 3 years off, so you've lost your edge. You're not going to be the same. And just by luck or by blessing, I maintained, I could train all those years and got back on stage.
And you were how old on that stage? That final time that you mentioned?
The last time, 53.
53. Wow.
Body fat 3%. A friend
Wow.
from, Facebook was new at the time. So my friend here in Vegas sent me a private message. He goes, "You've gone too far. Go eat something." I was so cut. I was beyond cut. So that was the goal. Train twice a day for 10 months. It took me 10 months to lose the 20 pounds of fat, 10 months twice a day. And as I wrote in my book, I had one almond per day.
Wow.
I was so determined. But I said to myself, I'm fat, I'm out of shape. After 18 years, I have no idea what I'm going to look like. I've gotten older. I was way past the prime at 53. But I'm going to get the fat off and we'll see what we're going to look like. What's left underneath.
If
But the
you
struggle, sorry.
If you were in your 20s right now, in a present day and age, do you think you would still want to get into bodybuilding as a career, like the way you did back in the 80s?
As a career, yes, because if in the class of physique, thank God for this category, I think I would fit right in.
Mhm.
Yeah, with the posing and the training and compulsory rounds, yeah. I'm fascinated with it. These guys are really in shape. I like to work on their posing though. I like to take them and adjust the posing just a little bit, just enough
Right.
to make you look bigger on every shot. The illusion.
Tony was magic on 2 feet. The things he did with his body was just magic.
He was flowing like a dancer with big muscle.
Somebody, I guess, mentioned to Tony that he looked a little like Michael Jackson. It was Michael Jackson with muscles.
That time they stare at you, it's
Does that embarrass you to have people feel that way?
Well, Tony, I think you're a real inspiration, and your story is very motivational. I really hope everybody checks out your documentary and reads the book, Driven. It is truly, even if you're not into bodybuilding, it's a motivational story. It's a real, it's a human story. There's a lot of layers to it, and even talking to you right now, the mentality of not giving up under the most extreme conditions, everybody can relate to.
Right. Yes. Yes. 20 years ago, I wanted to write the book, and one of my friends said to me, "Nobody wants to read your book because everybody has a story to tell." So he shut me down, and I took that. I said, "Oh, yeah, he's right. Yeah." But you know what it was? The timing wasn't right.
Mm.
It's all about timing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I wrote the book, the time was right.
Mm-hmm.
But I was afraid to write the book because people go, "Oh, look what he went through." They criticize you.
Of course.
But how many people do I know that have backstory? They have stories to tell. They just don't tell that story. They hide it. And I think you should tell the story. Whatever happened, tell the story. I think people will listen because they can relate to something. You can read my book, there's something you're going to relate to. Oh, that happened to me. Oh, I've been there.
Right.
But it's okay. You're kind of freeing yourself. I remember my friend, she was helping me upload this on Amazon, and she looked at me, "You want me to push the button?" And I paused. I go ahead, push it. This is the world. You can't take it back. So don't be afraid to tell your story. You're going to help some kids. I have another little book out, a book that I wrote for kids now. It's called The Story of Baby Herc. And it's on Amazon. It's about 30 pages. I had some girl in Russia to draw these amazing pictures of me as a child growing up in the cotton field. She did one of those too. And it's for kids to read because they need to see stuff like that to understand, you know. It's an inspirational, tiny little book.
Nice. I'll check it out. Tony, thank you so much for your time. It was a great interview, as always.
Thank you.
I hope people enjoy it, and I hope they see your film and read your books, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on.
My pleasure, man.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Take care, sir.